building a better Bay Area. Moving forward, finding solutions. This is ABC 7 News.
Today's been a rough day, and there's no bones about it.
The Caldor fire worsening by the hour as crews battle the flames in intense heat. The latest from El Dorado County as South Lake Tahoe braces to evacuate.
Tonight, disasters across the country. Tens of thousands of people told to leave their homes due to the threat of fires or hurricanes. As the Caldor fire encroaches on South Lake Tahoe, Hurricane Ida has slammed New Orleans.
There's a lot of focus on the city's upgraded levees, but there's also a lot of concern about the floodwater that could accumulate right here within the protected area. The city's pumps will no doubt be put to the test.
Here in the Bay Area, residents with loved ones in Louisiana told me they're fearing another Katrina-style disaster.
Actually being there when the storm hit, when the lights went off and the winds, it was something that I hope I never have to experience ever again.
Scientists say humans must change their behavior or we can expect more of these extreme climate events.
So there are a lot of ways in which these different extreme events are connected. The main one is just that global warming is happening at the global scale.
Tough to see those images. Good evening, I'm J.R. Stone. You're watching ABC 7 News at 11. Live here on ABC 7 and wherever you stream. We have team coverage tonight on both Hurricane Ida and the Caldor fire. We begin with ABC 7 News meteorologist Drew Tuma tracking those breaking fire conditions.
Yeah, JR, this fire just had explosive growth today. It's now in the top 20 largest fires in California history. It's at 168,000 acres right now. And today, the biggest growth was on the eastern side of this fire. CAL FIRE said today that it grew about 2.5 miles on the eastern flank today. Flames, winds, and terrain all came in alignment today for that explosive growth. Here is Highway 50, Strawberry, Twin Bridges. Over here is Sierra at Tahoe. We have Myers, and here's South Lake Tahoe. We have a lot of flames in this area tonight within this canyon, and we have a few days ahead of some dangerous winds. In fact, we'll throw on the winds for tomorrow and look at the direction from the southwest to the northeast, which is going to push this fire to the east once again. So it's for that fact we have a red flag warning that will begin at 11 a.m. tomorrow for these winds gusting 20 to 35 miles per hour, not only around the Caldor fire, but also around the Dixie fire as well. So dangerous fire conditions the next 2 days. Future tracker wind gusts tomorrow afternoon, these winds gusting close to 30 miles per hour. And then we do it all again on Tuesday. So JR firefighters have a 48-hour window of some dangerous fire conditions around the Caldor fire.
Thanks so much, Drew. This is a live look from the Sierra at Tahoe Resort via an alert wildfire camera, and it's hard to make out what that is, but just a wall of orange. Tonight, ABC 7 News reporter Stephanie Sierra was in Myers, about 8 miles away from the resort. She found families racing to get out.
The Caldor fire moving fast tonight as winds are picking up. We are right along Highway 50, just about 4 miles south of Myers. We're seeing homes go up in flames in this area as fire crews are battling the worst night yet in extreme heat. 15 days into the Caldor fire, crews face the flames in record heat. The fire fierce as it rips down homes along Highway 50, just south of the town of Myers. The sky turning orange as the city faces mandatory evacuation orders. How long have you lived here in Myers?
20 years.
Is this the worst you've ever seen it?
Yes. It's just horrible.
Drew Marotti had 10 minutes to pack up and leave his newly remodeled home covered in ash.
It just hurts because, we love this town. We don't want to see it burn.
But a mere 4 miles down the road, that's all that's happening. Fire crews facing a triple threat, the smoke doubling in size, the heat unbearable, and the wind shrouding any visibility with big clouds of black smoke.
The concern today is those increased temperatures. Again, the hottest day of this firefight that's been going on for 2 weeks. And then the humidity level's very low. Juan
Cruz is one of a 20-person hotshot crew that's been tirelessly working the Highway 50 corridor south of the community of Strawberry.
We burned around these homes last night, so we're trying to make sure that everything holds and these cabins stay.
He's already saved a handful of homes, but is worried the conditions tonight will threaten their hard work. What is the probability those flames will overtake this part of the forest?
It's just a matter of time.
Engine boss Lou Wallace shares the same fear.
It's concerning. Right now, I got to keep my mind at my task at hand. Get all the burning materials away. Fuel tanks, gas tanks, all stuff we get away from the house, anything that can burn.
Help coming in across the country as inmates from Washington State cut down trees and hand crews building fire lines around homes. The team's working 24-hour back-to-back grueling shifts for the past 2 weeks with no signs of stopping.
It's been a very difficult firefight for all personnel assigned. Everyone has been very taxed as we move from fire to fire throughout the state.
The wind's really picking up tonight. This is exactly what fire crews were afraid of. As you can see, the sky turning blood orange. Fire crews tell us it will certainly be a long night ahead. We're right along Highway 50 just south of Myers. Stephanie Sierra, ABC 7 News.
Well, Barton Memorial Hospital in South Lake Tahoe is now evacuating all patients. The hospital sent out this tweet saying patients will be transferred to regional partner facilities. Their families will be notified. Barton's emergency department remains open for emergency health needs only. Well, across the country, another disaster tonight. Hurricane Ida is barreling through Louisiana after making landfall in the state this afternoon. The storm is being blamed for at least one death. Someone was killed by a fallen tree. Today's hurricane left more than 1 million customers without power in Mississippi and Louisiana, with the entire city of New Orleans in the dark. There are reports that 22 barges broke loose in New Orleans because of the storm. Officials are worried they may hit infrastructure. ABC 7 News reporter Elizabeth Schulze has a closer look at Ida's impact.
Hurricane Ida is ripping through Louisiana, leaving devastation in its path. Ida coming ashore as a powerful Category 4 storm and staying as a Cat 4 for several more hours.
This is one of the strongest storms to make landfall here in modern times.
Hurricane hunters flying into the storm's stunning 17-mile wide eye. After landfall, catastrophic storm surge of up to 8 feet, winds up to 150 miles an hour.
We are here in the heart of New Orleans just as this storm has made landfall. You can feel how strong these winds are. This is the Mississippi. This storm is testing the city's flood protection system.
Those systems and levees were built up after Hurricane Katrina exactly 16 years ago. Officials here are still worried about heavy rain causing flash floods.
This is a very dangerous and a very real situation.
President Biden visiting FEMA for a briefing, saying the agency deployed 2,400 employees to the region.
As soon as the storm passes, we're going to put the country's full might behind the rescue and recovery.
Now, the Mississippi River and the French Quarter are just behind me here, usually lit up, but right now it's darkness. New Orleans says the entire city is without power, citing catastrophic transmission damage. It makes the conditions here a lot more dangerous. While this flash flood warning is currently in effect, officials do still tell us, though, that those water pumps, which are used to get the water off the streets, are running using self-generated power. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, New Orleans.
And the latest from the National Hurricane Center, Ida is weakening from that maximum Category 4. It's now down to a Category 1 storm with winds of 75 miles per hour, but it has soaked a huge portion of Louisiana. Some spots saw more than a foot of rainfall, a wide swath of 4 to 9 inches of rainfall from this storm. Now, the storm continues to press off to the north and east. It will weaken as it moves off, but still Monday, winds of 60 miles per hour. It will bring more rainfall to parts of the south and the mid-Atlantic. We could expect anywhere from 2 to 6 inches of rain over the next couple of days, JR.
Thanks so much, Drew. As Hurricane Katrina, Ida, that is, bears down on Louisiana, many Bay Area residents with loved ones there are fearing for their safety. ABC 7 News reporter Tim John spoke with one woman who says she was up all night as her family evacuated from New Orleans.
16 years to the day after Hurricane Katrina devastated the city of New Orleans, Hurricane Ida is now pummeling Louisiana. Michelle Morgan Oaten now lives in Berkeley, but is a New Orleans native who lived through Katrina.
I relive that every August. So and especially with another storm now, it makes it even harder for me now.
Morgan Oaten tells me she hardly slept Saturday evening. Instead, she was up all night worrying about her loved ones back at home, most of whom fled the city fearing another Katrina-style disaster.
Because no one's home. They don't know what they're going to be coming home to, unfortunately, or if they can actually return.
While Ida is presenting its own challenges, Morgan Oaten says the might of Katrina left a psychological scar on many New Orleans residents. When Hurricane Katrina made landfall back in 2005, it was a Category 3 storm. Hurricane Ida made landfall as an even more powerful Category 4. But that doesn't necessarily mean the two storms will have the same aftermaths. Harold Schapelhauman is a firefighter who was on the ground following Katrina. He says one key difference is that rescue teams are now more prepared.
The FEMA teams are all equipped. They're mostly staffed by firefighters and civilian professionals like doctors, structural engineers, search dog teams, hazmat material experts.
But no matter what happens, Morgan Oten says the people of New Orleans will recover.
But we're resilient. We'll be back.
In San Francisco, Tim Johns, ABC 7 News.
Governor Newsom authorized the deployment of an Oakland-based task force to Louisiana in wake of Hurricane Ida. Crews packed up equipment ahead of their departure. Now, Oakland Fire is the host agency for a team with members from 14 local departments. They specialize in urban search and rescue and are trained to deal with dangerous storm surges. Well, scientists say while the Caldor Fire and Hurricane Ida may seem like two very different disasters, they're actually very much related. ABC 7 News reporter Luz Pena spoke to a Stanford climate expert who says these extreme events may only get worse as the planet continues to warm.
California is officially on a new climate. Experts say the proof is this: heat waves, dry conditions, and another record-setting fire season.
CAL FIRE and scientists who take the measurements knew that the vegetation was very, very dry.
Along the Gulf Coast, Hurricane Ida making landfall as a Category 4. Louisiana's governor categorizing it as one of the strongest storms to make landfall in modern times. We sat down with Stanford's climate expert, Dr. Noah Diffenbaugh, to understand how these extreme weather events affecting opposite sides of the country are ultimately connected.
The primary way in which they're connected is that global warming is happening at the global scale, and so all parts of the world are experiencing that.
Research shows global warming is changing the conditions in which hurricanes are happening. The ocean is storing more heat than ever.
The heat in the upper layers of the ocean is increasing. That's providing more energy for storms. We're seeing not just stronger storms, but also this rapid intensification of storms.
Dr. Diffenbaugh says 90% of the heat that has been added over the last century is in the ocean. He says this is triggering what could be a Category 1 hurricane to intensify and grow into a stronger category.
Decades ago, maybe 1 out of 100 storms would do that, and now we're seeing like a 5% chance.
As fires intensify, he says the smoke from fires will create more greenhouse gases and air quality will continue to worsen.
Should we expect that smoke will sit in certain areas for a longer period of time?
There is some indication that as global warming increases, we could get a more frequent occurrence of these air stagnation events.
Dr. Diffenbaugh says the solution is a different energy system and to reduce greenhouse gases fast.
Reaching net zero is really, in terms of our greenhouse gas emissions, is really the only way to stabilize the climate system.
In San Francisco, Luz Pena, ABC 7 News.
And on our ABC 7 News streaming app, we have a complete collection of stories about our changing climate. You can download the app wherever you stream. Just search ABC 7 News Bay Area. We'll be right back.